that time of year again. We already know Santa has been checking his list and updating all year round. With Christmas right around the corner, I just want to remind you all of the horror movies filled with the creepiest and naughtiest kids. For those of you who love the killer kiddos like Isaac from the Children of the Corn franchise, or Bagul's dead little observers in the attic from Sinister, or even Toshio with his pitch black wide open eyes from the Ju-On franchise, there are so many naughty kids just out there. Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the top naughty kids in horror movies. I'm going to be sharing with you all my top 3. It's Zena. So the first naughty kid we're going to be talking about is Jamie from The Pit, 1981. In this weird Canadian horror, we meet a lonely, disturbed boy named Jamie, who is preoccupied with sex and randomly has a teddy bear, which tells him to do bad things. As the viewer, at first, you're gonna have sympathy for Jamie because he gets picked on. He gets picked on a lot by everybody, it seems. But then after a while, that's going to quickly change because you kind of see who this kid really is. Not only is 12-year-old Jamie creepy, but he's also a pervert. I'm sorry, I was trying to be like stern when I was saying that, but it's true. He is a pathological pervert, and it's insane because he's only 12. It's like he's on that path to become a predator. He looks up women's skirts, he sends naked photos to one of his teachers, just harassing her whole existence. And then on top of that, he found these monsters in the woods, these trolologs, which is what he calls them. And he tries to feed them, you know, candy and chips and stuff like that at first, but then he just starts punishing his classmates and people who make fun of him. He just pretty much pushes them in the pit. And then he has a talking bear, but you don't really know if the bear is actually talking to him or if it's just all in his head. The Pit is actually one of the most unusual movies that I've ever seen. Not so much because, you know, Jamie is kind of like a young predator, but the fact that, you know, you're dealing with that, but then also it does take place in the 80s, so it is like an 80s horror, but then also there's monsters, but then his bear is talking to him, and then people are getting eaten by things. It's just like there's a lot that's going on. It's just a very bizarre movie, but I have to be honest with you, I think that it's entertaining. There's plenty of black humor in this one, and I feel that if you're someone who really loves 80s types of horror movies, you may enjoy this one. The next one we're going to be talking about are the kids from the film Who Can Kill a Child from 1976. A couple vacationing on a small Mediterranean island discovers that all of the adult citizens have been murdered by children. Long before Children of the Corn, we have these island kids with their grim faces, just all silent, living on this mysterious island, just killing off all the adults. Something I really appreciate about this film is that the children are just such incredible actors. They really do come off threatening and chilling. I don't know about you guys, sometimes when you see like evil kids or killer kids and it's just like, what? Get out of here. Like you just like push them out of here or whatever, or trip them and laugh. With these kids, I don't think that I'd be able to do that. Who Can Kill a Child is such an effective horror film, and on top of that, it just has like a very unique type of atmosphere. But overall, if you haven't checked out this movie, I highly recommend just giving it a shot. And just keep in mind, just because it's not fast-paced doesn't mean that, again, that it's not effective, that it's not suspenseful, because it definitely is. As this film goes on, it completely intensifies, and it really surprised me. Alright guys, and the last one we're going to be talking about is Kevin from We Need to Talk About Kevin from 2011. A mother struggles to love her bizarre child despite increasingly dangerous things he says and does as he grows up. Technically, this one is a thriller, but I wanted to include We Need to Talk About Kevin because I feel like this is a different type of horror. It delivers a different type. This is real life horror. This is the type of horror that you'll see on the news, that you'll see in the headlines. This film is very dreamlike, and I feel like it may make the viewers start to question certain things, such as what would you do if you had a family member that did something homicidal, that was showing signs that's just like, hey, there's clearly something wrong. Not just only just any type of family member, but say if it's a child, your son, that is your daughter, this individual lives in your house and they're showing all these signs. What do you do? What can you do? To be honest with you, when it comes to this character, Kevin, I feel like he was born a vicious psychopath. I don't feel like anything happened to him to make him transform into this. He was born this way. But just a fair warning, this film is not for the delicate-hearted or if you are pondering parenthood. Alright guys, so I decided to give you another bonus because 'tis the season, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about Ralph, Virginia, and Elizabeth from Spider Baby 1967. In Jack Hill's black comedy horror, a caretaker devotes himself to 3 demented siblings after their father's death. So these kids, are they really kids? So these kids are super overgrown and they're very demented, and you just don't feel safe around. These kids are very dangerous, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be around any of them. First we have Ralph. Ralph is unable to communicate. He just grunts. And on top of that, he's dirty. He's dirty because he crawls around. And it's just like, what are you doing? Then on top of that, he attacks women. Once again, what are you doing? Just attacking women? That's what you want to do? What's your problem? Next, you have Virginia, aka Spider Baby. She's obsessed with spiders. She likes to trap people in this spider type of thing. She takes out these butcher knives because that's supposed to be the spider, you know, and stabs them. It's like she moves around like spider-like. It's just kind of creepy. Do not let, just because it was made in 1967 or that it's filmed black and white, fool you. And these overgrown kids are dangerous. Someone chops off someone's ears and keeps it in a box. There's a dead body, pretty much it's a skeleton, that gets kissed goodnight. It's gross. And at the same time, I love it. So that's my list of the top naughtiest kids in horror. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. As always, I'm interested in knowing who are some of your favorite top naughty kids in horror. Feel free to comment below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Push them out of here or whatever, or trip them and laugh.